Push for sweeping police reform here in the United States. That was the priority during a meeting between U.S. President Joe Biden and the Congressional Black Caucus. The discussions follow a recent series of brutal beatings at the hands of police, including the death of Tyre Nichols. But as CGTN's Nathan King explains, passing any significant legislation may be an uphill battle.
U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris was one of the several officials and dignitaries to attend the funeral of Tyre Nichols, yet another black man killed at the hands of police. This outrage, she told mourners, must turn to action.
When we look at this situation, this is a family that lost their son and their brother through an act of violence at the hands and the feet of people who had been charged with keeping them safe.
With calls for long-stalled federal police reform growing again, U.S. Vice President and President Biden met at the White House Thursday with Congressional Black Caucus leaders to try and find ways forward.
From my perspective is, how can we make some progress on police reform of consequence and violence in our communities?
The problem is the U.S. has been here before. After the brutal chokehold killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis in May 2020, which sparked demonstrations across the U.S. and around the world, attempts at police reform stalled in the U.S. Senate, although several states enacted local reforms. The federal proposals include banning the use of chokeholds, ending the practice of so-called no-knock warrants, which allow police access to private homes without warning, and a registry for disciplinary actions, making it harder for police with bad records to hide that history. Campaigners also want an end to qualified immunity, which gives legal protections to police using deadly force.
The bill is passed.
That effort cleared the lower House of Representatives in 2020 and again in 2021, but went nowhere in the Senate. Now, with Republicans in control of the House, there is less of a chance of legislative action. The Congressional Black Caucus, however, thinks more can be done.
You've already led on the action that we've been able to take through executive order. We need your help to make sure we can get the legislative actions that are necessary to save lives and to make public safety the priority that it needs to be for all communities.
February in the U.S. is Black History Month, a time to mark the voices that have been so long marginalized. But with the current injustices against black people continuing, it's not just the past that the U.S. has to address, but the present injustices and those that are bound to happen in the future. Nathan King, CGTN, just outside the White House.
Here's a grim